Long ago, humans were part of the Galactic Council. They had earned their place with hard work, science, and courage. They traded, shared knowledge, and helped defend other planets. But many alien species never trusted them. They called humans dangerous, emotional, and wild. Some feared how fast humans learned. Others hated that humans could survive on planets where no other species could. Slowly, lies spread across the galaxy. Small accidents were blamed on humans. Old allies turned cold. Then one day, without warning, the Galactic Council held a secret vote. The result was clear: humans were to be exiled. No trial, no defense, just orders. Leave known space. The Earth and its colonies had 10 standard days to disappear. If they stayed, they would be attacked. At first, humans were shocked. Then they grew angry, but no help came. The same friends who once cheered for them now looked away. So humans obeyed the order. Their fleets left in silence. No war, no revenge. Only sadness and confusion. A few alien voices spoke up, saying, the Council's action was wrong, but they were ignored. The galaxy moved on, thinking humans would be lost in the void forever. No one followed them. No one checked where they went. Years passed, then decades. The name of humans faded from most records. Children across the stars were taught that humans had been too wild for peace. Some thought they were extinct, but the truth was very different. Far beyond the edge of known space. Past broken systems and silent stars, the exiled humans had found something. A small moon, rich in metal and energy. Around it, ancient ruins floated, pieces of a forgotten alien race. Machines with no power, ships with strange shapes, libraries of data and symbols no one could read. The humans landed and explored. Studied everything. They worked in silence, learning from the past while building a new future. They called the place Haven. Life on Haven was not easy. The air had to be cleaned. Food had to be grown underground. Storms raged for days, but the humans worked together. Old leaders were replaced by a new council. They were careful this time. They remembered how trust was broken. They promised to stay hidden until the time was right. Engineers fixed old alien machines. Coders unlocked strange programs. Scientists created new energy cores. They made weapons that didn't need sound or light. They built ships with no nameplates. Ships that moved faster than light without leaving trails children grew up hearing. The truth. Not the galaxy story, but the real one. They were taught to be calm but strong, silent but smart. They trained in defense, engineering, medicine, and strategy. They learned how to survive on, how to wait. Back in the galaxy, no one talked about humans anymore. New powers rose, new problems spread. Old species fought over trade lanes. Pirate groups attacked colonies. The Galactic Council struggled to keep peace, but they still never asked where the humans had gone. One night, deep inside the Haven control room, a young technician named Lena saw something strange on her screen. It was a small signal, faint and broken. It came from a nearby star system. It wasn't human. It was alien. It sounded like a distress call. She reported it to command. The Human Council listened. They discussed the risks. Was it a trap? Was it time to reveal themselves? After hours of talk, they made a choice. One small scout ship would be sent. No weapons, just eyes and ears. The ship left Haven quietly. Its name was Eclipse. Eclipse reached the system in 3 days. It found a broken alien vessel spinning near a dead moon. The hull was cracked. The lights were gone. So only one life sign remained. Inside was an alien pilot, injured and afraid. He didn't recognize the humans who rescued him, thought they were pirates. He begged them not to hurt him. But the human. Medics treated his wounds and gave him water. Where are we? The alien asked weakly. You're safe, the pilot said softly. But you're in the wrong part of space. The alien blinked. Who are you? The human didn't answer. Instead, he looked out the window where a giant black ship slowly passed by. It made no noise. It left no trail. Its lights were cold and dim. The alien's eyes widened. Those ships, they're not in our records. The human nodded. They wouldn't be. And just like that, the galaxy's silence was broken. Humanity had not vanished. They had not been destroyed. They had simply waited and built. And now, they were ready. The alien pilot, still weak, sat in a quiet medical room deep inside the human ship Eclipse. He looked around at the smooth metal walls, the quiet machines, and the calm human faces. Everything felt strange to him, advanced, cold, and hidden. These were not the humans he had read about in Galactic school. These humans were sharper, quieter, and stronger. The medic smiled gently. "You'll be fine. Rest. Food will be brought soon." He nodded slowly, still unsure. "Why did you help me?" "Because you needed help," she answered simply, then walked away. The alien's name was Ven. He was a low-ranking scout from a minor council world called Nitrax. He had been chasing a strange signal when his ship was attacked by unknown drones. He barely escaped, but his ship was damaged and crashed in the nearby system. He never expected humans to be the ones to find him. In Haven, the human council gathered. Old men and women, young commanders, scientists, and silent observers sat. Around a large table, they had watched the galaxy for years. Now it was time to listen. "What did the alien say?" one asked. "He believes we are pirates," said the officer who brought the report. "He doesn't know who we are. Hay has never seen tech like ours." Another council member leaned forward. "Good. That means the galaxy still forgets us." One younger woman, Commander Ray, shook her head. "They may not know us, but this changes everything. The signal he chased it came from a place we also scanned weeks ago. Someone or something is stirring." "Do we show ourselves?" someone asked. "Not yet," Red said. "We need more data." Meanwhile, Ven was moved to a human outpost hidden under a frozen planet. There he saw more humans, farmers, builders, pilots, children. He expected fear or anger from them. Instead, he saw pride and purpose. They were not hiding in shame. They were waiting with patience. He met Lena, the technician who found his signal. She was curious and kind. She asked him questions about the council, the news, the wars. Ben answered all he could. "Do they talk about humans anymore?" she asked. Ben shook his head. "Not really. Some think you're extinct. Others say you went mad in the dark." "And what do you think?" she asked. He looked at her carefully. "I think the galaxy made a mistake." Deep underground, human engineers worked on something new. They called it the Shade-class ships, small, fast, invisible to sensors. Designed not for war, but for gathering information. Soon, Shade ships launched from Haven, spread out, in different directions, each following a hidden path toward galactic space. One of them, called Whisper, reached a council trade route and observed a merchant fleet being attacked by pirates. The pirates were not using normal weapons. They had stolen tech that was part human. Part unknown, Whisper recorded everything and sent the data home. In Haven, the council studied it and grew concerned. The stolen tech matched some of the machines, found long ago in the ancient ruins. Someone was digging in the same past the humans had found on, using it without understanding the danger. If they keep using that tech without care, Red said, they'll open something they can't. Control. "What do you suggest?" asked an older general. Red looked at the others. "We move closer. Not to fight, to protect. We built this empire in silence. But maybe it's time to guard what we know." Back on the frozen outpost, Ven was taken to a secret hangar. He stood in shock as he saw rows of ships that looked nothing like anything in the galaxy. Sleek black metal, curved designs, no engines on the outside. "This is your fleet?" Ven asked. "Only a small part," Lena replied. "But why? Why build this much?" She looked at him with calm eyes.
Yes.
"Because we remember. The galaxy turned its back on us once. Promised we would never depend on them again." Stepped closer to a ship and placed a hand on its cool surface. "You could take over the galaxy with this, maybe," she said. But we don't want to take over. Want to make sure no one else suffers what we did. Later that night, Ven sat alone, thinking. These humans had every reason to be. Bitter, but they weren't. They had grown stronger, smarter, and more focused. Their empire wasn't built on hate. It was built on survival, planning, and quiet strength. And now, for the first time, someone from the galaxy had seen it. Little did anyone know, the data from Whisper had already been traced by unknown eyes. Far beyond the stars, a strange force had noticed the movement in the shadows. It was coming. But Haven was ready. The Whisper returned to Haven with more than just recordings. Something had followed it. No alerts were triggered, no damage done, but deep inside Haven's command network. The system detected a trace something watching, listening, just outside their range. Lena sat at her station, her fingers moving quickly across the controls. "What is it?" Commander Red asked as she entered the room. Lena didn't look up. "I don't know yet. It's not Council tech. It's not pirate either, it feels ... different." The screen flashed. Strange symbols appeared, symbols that looked like the ancient ruins they had once found when they first arrived at Haven. Red narrowed her eyes. "Are we being hunted?" Lena nodded slowly. "I think we've been seen." Back at the medical outpost, Ven received clearance to move freely. He had earned some trust, and he used it to ask questions. He saw more of Haven, the underground cities, the tall wind towers, the children learning history from both Earth and alien worlds. There was laughter here, and discipline too. He sat in the garden dome with Lena, watching human children chase each other around a glowing tree. "Your people could have become monsters," Ven said. "You were exiled, betrayed, ... Yet you built this." Lena smiled gently. "We remember who we are. Pain taught us to grow, not to destroy." "But someone's watching, right?" Ven asked. "I heard whispers in the hall. I heard them say, you might be under threat." Lena looked away. "Yes. We're not alone anymore." In the central chamber, the council discussed the unknown signal. Some believed it was just a broken drone. Others believed it was something older, something left behind by the race who built the ruins they had studied. "If it's waking up now," Red said, "we must be ready. We need to test our fleet." The council agreed. One of the hidden ships, the black vessel named Spectre, was sent out. It would pass near a dead star system, a place known in old records for strange disappearances. The Spectre glided through. Space like a shadow. It had no lights, no signal, just silence. Inside, the crew sat quietly, eyes on the screens. As they reached the edge of the system, something appeared, a dark object, smooth and still. Floating near a broken planet, "Scan it," the captain ordered. "No response," the officer said. "But it's not natural. It's a ship." "What's left of one?" Before they could move closer, the object blinked. Not lights, just space itself twisting for a second like a ripple in water. The Spectre's systems flickered. The crew felt a wave of pressure inside their heads. "Back. Away now?" the captain shouted. They turned, engines silent but strong. The object did not follow, but something had changed. As they left the system, the captain sent a message back. "Ancient tech is active. Possible intelligence. Advise full alert." Message reached Haven within hours. Red called an emergency meeting. The time for shadows was ending. "We built this empire to survive," she said. "But now we must act to protect others. The galaxy is blind, cannot stay hidden forever." "What do you suggest?" an elder asked. "We prepare to reveal ourselves, but only with control. Not to beg, not to explain. We show strength and offer help. On our terms." Ven was invited to the meeting as a guest. When he spoke, his words surprised them. "The council is not ready for you," he said. "But many in the outer colonies are suffering. Pirates, failed crops, no help from the core worlds. If you appear with food, safety, and peace, they will. Listen, they will follow." The council nodded. The plan began. A fleet of 5 human ships, marked with a new symbol, a star rising from a broken circle, was sent to a small colony near the edge of council space. The colony, called Lerna, was under pirate threat for months. No help had come. When the human fleet arrived, the pirates scattered in panic. Their sensors couldn't track the ships. Their weapons failed to lock. Within minutes, the pirates fled into the dark. The people of Lerna came out of hiding. They expected strange aliens. Instead, they saw humans calm, organized, and quiet. They brought supplies, fixed broken generators, and left without asking for anything. A message was left behind. You are not forgotten. The story of the silent fleet spread quickly. Other colonies whispered of ghost ships helping from the shadows. Old memories of humans returned. Some feared them, others hoped. On Haven, Rez stood at the edge of a long glass bridge, watching the stars. Ben stood beside her. They will come looking now, he said. Let them, she replied. We are not afraid. But deep in space, past the Council's reach, something else stirred. Old machines blinked back to life. Dark mind opened one that remembered the first humans who touched its ruins. It had been watching. Now it was ready to move, and humanity was no longer hiding. After the rescue of the Lerna colony, the galaxy could no longer ignore the truth. Whispers became reports. Quiet messages flew across Council space. Someone was helping border colonies, but no one knew who. Council officials tried to hide it. But the people had already started guessing. Some said it was a secret force of machines. Others believed it was a new race. But a few older voices remembered. They had seen this kind of action before fast. Quiet and precise. They're humans. One elder said during a council meeting, the ones we sent away? They didn't die. They evolved. And he laughed at the idea. Others looked uneasy. The council didn't like mysteries they couldn't control. In Haven, the Human Council watched these events calmly, saw the fear growing in the galaxy. But they also saw hope from the people who had been left behind, the ones the council had ignored for too long. Commander Rez stood before her council. We started in exile, she said. We built in silence. Now, the galaxy sees us again. We must be careful. If we move too fast, they will call us invaders. If we move too slow, others will suffer. The council agreed on the next step. Second Fleet would move toward another. Forgotten colony this time, one on the edge of war between two council factions. The colony Elmarin had no protection. It sat between two powers, fighting over mining rights. People there had begged for peace, but no help had come. Human ships arrived in the night sky. They didn't fire. Instead, they sent one clear message to both sides. Leave now. This colony is under our protection. Both sides ignored the warning until the skies turned black. Dozens of human ships dropped from stealth. Small drones covered the battlefield. Weapons didn't fire, but engines were shut down, systems frozen, weapons disabled without damage. Both sides were forced to retreat. No one was hurt. But every soldier who left Elmarin knew one thing. Humans had returned, and they were stronger than ever. On Haven, the children cheered when they heard the news. Farmers smiled. Scientists added new data. They all felt proud, but they knew this peace would not last. The council would not stay silent. Commander Red called a secret meeting with her most trusted commanders. We've helped two colonies. She said the next one won't be as easy. The council will send scouts. They'll try to track us. What do we do? One officer asked. Red smiled. We let them come. And then we show them who we are. Meanwhile, in council space, the debate grew louder. Some leaders wanted to find the humans and demand answers. Others believed peace could be made. But one thing was clear, whoever these humans were, they were not the same people who had been cast out. On a council scout ship, a small crew picked up a strange signal. They followed it, hoping to find the hidden empire. Instead, they found something else. A dead system. Floating metal. And at the center, a structure, massive, dark, and ancient. It pulsed with energy. It's not human, the captain said. Then who built it? The officer asked. No one answered. The structure sent out a new signal fast, spreading across systems. Human sensors picked it up instantly. On Haven, Lena stared at the screen. It's awake now. Commander Ray arrived within minutes. What is it? She asked. Lena looked worried. The same ancient signal we found in the ruins. It's spreading. Not just signals, machines. Small probes are moving. They're scanning everything. Red turned to her council. This is what we feared. The old enemy is waking up, and the galaxy doesn't even know it. Ven, who had remained in Haven to help, stepped forward. You need to warn the council. Red nodded. We will. Not with words. We'll show them. A plan was formed. Human ships would intercept one of the probes sent by the ancient structure. They would capture it, study it, and reveal its danger to the galaxy. This was a risk, but one worth taking. Small team launched from Haven aboard the stealth ship Ember. They reached the probe's location within a day. The probe was scanning a moon, feeding data back to the dark structure. The Ember crew moved fast. Using tools designed from ancient tech, they pulled the probe inside without alerting it. Once it was safe, they began to study it. What they found was worse than they expected. The probe was not just a machine it was learning. It had records of every planet it had passed, every language, every species, every weakness. And it was sending that data somewhere else. It's building a map, Lena said. A war map. Rez stared at the data. We have to stop it before it finishes. And so, the humans prepared for a new step, not just protecting the forgotten, but standing between the galaxy and something far more dangerous. Their time in the shadows was ending. The probe sat locked inside a shielded chamber on Haven. Engineers studied every part of it. Scientists worked day and night, scanning its design, its systems, and most of all its signal. It was clear now. The machine belonged to something. Old, powerful, and silent for far too long. Commander Ray stood with Lena and Ven as they watched the screen. Lines of alien code flowed like water, constantly changing. It's still learning, Lena said. Even in the chamber, it doesn't need outside connection anymore? Can we shut it down? Ven asked. Lena shook her head. Not without damaging what we've learned. Red crossed her arms. Then we use what we've learned. The Human Council met that evening in the main hall. The chamber was full. All the leaders, engineers, commanders, and researchers were present. The lights were dim. A hologram of the ancient probe hovered above the center table. We know what this is now, Red began. A scout, part of an old empire, older than any in the galaxy. It watches, learns, and reports. It was sleeping. But something woke it. The room was quiet. We have no record of who built it, she continued, but we know one thing for sure. It's not friendly. This is not just an observer. It's a planner, a war machine. An older council member stood. How soon until the rest of the galaxy finds out? Too late, Reg said. Unless we show them. Plans were made that same night. Humans would go to the Galactic Council not to ask for permission, but to give a warning. They would bring the probe, share the data, and reveal their hidden empire. It was a risk, but the galaxy needed to understand the truth. Ven agreed to go with the team. They'll listen to me. They'll know I'm not one of you. Red nodded, but now you are. A special human vessel was prepared, sleek, silent, and fast. Inside it, the probe was sealed in layers of protection. The ship, named Echo Star, launched from Haven and traveled through quiet paths in space. Reaching the edge of Council territory within days, the Galactic Council was already in session when the human ship arrived. At first, the guards did not let it dock. No records matched the ship. No one recognized its design. But then Ven sent his name and a message. They're here to warn you before it's too late. Under pressure from a few member species who had seen the silent fleets help colonies, the Council allowed them to speak. Commander Rez stood before the leaders of the galaxy. The room was wide, full of lights and colors. Many looked at her with fear, others with curiosity. We are the humans you cast away, Red said calmly. You forgot us. We did not forget you. Whispers filled the chamber. We did not come to fight, she said. We came to warn. Something older than all of us is waking up. It doesn't care who rules now. Probe was brought forward. The moment its shield was lowered, screens across the room flickered. Systems froze. And then a strange alien voice echoed from the probe. Observation complete. Weakness identified. Begin preparation. The room fell silent. A High Council member stood. What is that? A message, Red said. It's preparing for war. Panic spread. Some leaders denied the truth. Others demanded answers. You've had this tech for years, one shouted. Why didn't you tell us? You exiled? Us, Red said. We didn't owe you anything. But we remembered who we are, and we remembered others who might need help. Like the colonies you left behind, then stepped forward. I saw what they built, not an army, a shield. Chance. Some leaders tried to argue. Others stood in silence, watching the probe, watching the humans. It was clear now, the humans were no longer weak. No longer scattered, they were united, strong, prepared. After a long pause, one council member, a calm elder from a quiet planet, spoke. What do you want from us? He asked. Red looked around the room. Not power, not control. We want to help stop what's coming. We will not bow, but we will stand beside you. If you let us. The council called for a vote. For the first time in history, the humans were not denied. They were accepted not as allies, but as leaders in the fight ahead. The news spread fast across the galaxy. Humans, once forgotten and thrown away, had returned not with revenge, but with warning. They had forged a hidden empire, not out of hate, but out of hope. And now, with the stars shifting and old shadows rising, they would stand in front of the storm, not just for themselves, but for all.